It's winter, it's wet, it's a work day, and I'm driving in the snow to the east coast. I must be crazy. It's a throwback Thursday, and today I'm on the road. The one day where the snow is coming down from the north, the roads are incredibly wet and rain has been coming down. I'm actually heading towards INGOLDMELLS and SKEGNESS. It feels very strange to be heading this way in the winter, especially with this snow coming down. I'm here for work today. Visiting some of the schools that I work with on the east coast, but I've picked a good one to come over here, but it does just bring back such happy memories really of childhood, and I guess those days of my grandparents having a caravan over in INGOLDMELLS. Much of the route I've taken today is the drive that I would have had in the back seat of the car that felt like forever to come away on holiday. And now sometimes just forms part of my commute. But it is a bit grim out there. I'm going to keep ploughing on, and I'll show you where my grand's caravan was when I get into INGOLDMELLS and give you a little look around, and I'll throw in a couple of photos of what it looked like back in the day. I think it was 1972 they got the caravan, and we had that right the way up till about 1989-90, if my memory serves me right. So we had a good chunk of that in our childhood. Happy days. So I'll show you a bit of that. I'll show you a bit of what I'm up to today, and I'm just hoping this snow doesn't come down much further than it has done, and sticks to being this wet sleety stuff. So if you've been on the road, I hope you've stayed safe out there, and I'll see you in a bit. So we're just on the outskirts now, we're almost there. Just a bit of this sleety snow to get through. And it's not INGOLDMELLS if you don't come and visit Fantasy Island, which looks very unappealing on this grey day. Very different place out of season. All these statics empty, waiting for the new season to begin. Lane in INGOLDMELLS, and I remember this Cheers pub being built as a kid. It used to be a little field, and there used to be a little telephone box just here where we used to phone home, and down here used to be a number of smaller static caravan sites, and it was on this road that my grandparents bought their first static on a little site called the Poplars, which I'll show you in a minute. And this is the Poplars caravan site. This was where our grandparents had their static, and it used to be run by a local chap called Mr. Farmery, who owned quite a bit of farmland in the area, and this was a bit of land that he developed into a campsite. And this is where I spent many happy a day in my childhood in the school holidays. So all of these campsites down here on Walls Lane are just a 10-minute walk from the seafront really, and we used to come out of the campsite and just walk down to the end there where that Cheers pub was that I've just shown you. And like I said, we used to pay phone back then to phone mum and dad back at home, because we'd often be here with my grandma, and then we'd walk down to the seafront just a little bit further along, where was the amusement arcades, the fish and chip shops. There was a restaurant, I think it was called the Lookout. I think that might be the name of the arcade as well. So it meant we got the beach nearby, and yeah, spent many happier days going backwards and forwards here in the school holidays. So whilst I come here for work now, it's quite strange. The feeling's almost like you're coming home each time, which is quite nice. So I'll drop in some pictures of the caravan and the site from back in the day, and I'll just show you a little bit more where I'm headed off to today. Now, Walls Lane has been extended somewhat over the years. When we were here as kids, this Orchard Park, which is a massive caravan site, just used to be fields, and we used to walk down here into this field behind this wall to come and see the donkeys that they used to use on the beach, and that's where they used to be. But it has changed massively. The campsites have just extended all the way down. And this was that pub and amusements we used to walk down to at the front. Nice to see that it's still here. And boy, is it choppy out there in the North Sea. Whoa. And a quick charge up so I can get home. This will be a 40% charge up, will give me more than enough miles to get back. It's still snowing here in Skegness. And we're in for a wet and windy ride home. So that was just a little throwback Thursday for you, and a little insight into what I do with some of my days. Car's almost charged to get me home, and I think I genuinely did pick the worst day to drive to the East Coast. Had a great time with my schools today, seen some great stuff in those, so I'm going home a happy man. Just not looking forward to this drive. See you next time.